It's Wednesday. That means you are halfway to the weekend, but you're also in the right spot for a little geek stuff off the cuff. That's right. A new episode just for you. That's right, Jimmy. Just for you. And pretty much anybody else that listens or downloads or anything else. This week, we are going to be talking with the Foolery in Carmel, Indiana. We actually, Tony and I went back to the Foolery on May the 4th for their big Star Wars celebration. May the 4th be with you. And they had a great one-year anniversary, so we were able to record live out there. In addition to that, I want to let everybody know that Indie PopCon is on their way back for their second trip here in Indianapolis. June 26th, 27th, and 28th, they are going to be downtown at the convention center. We're going to be giving away sets of passes every week starting on June 3rd. We're also going to be giving away some VIP passes, so stay tuned. Make sure you know how to win them. We're going to be using social media to give those passes away. The Amalgam Podcast Network, which Geek Stuff Off the Cuff is on, is going to be sponsoring the podcast stage. And there's all kinds of podcasters that are going to be there. I know Chick McGee's going to be there. They're going to be recording live at that stage all weekend long. Myself, Tony, Emily, probably some other guests from the show are going to be stopping by the booth because we have a booth actually at the show. That's pretty wild, I think. So you're going to be able to chat with us. I'm sure we're going to be recording live while we're there as well. And then we're also going to be hosting some chats on the Play It Now stage. So you guys want to make sure you're there June 26th through the 28th. Also, we've got a sponsor. I know, right? At the sponsor. It kind of blows everybody's mind that we've got that, but we do. The Mediapolis Expo is going to be downtown at the Hyatt. That's right, the really cool hotel that has the elevator that freaks me out every single time I go into it because it's all glass on the back part, and you just see this giant open area, and I always feel like I'm going to fall out of it. It's the truth. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be going on October 16th, 17th, and 18th. If you were able to tune in to an episode that I did just a couple weeks ago with the fine folks from the Mediapolis Expo, you were able to hear them chat a little bit more about what the Expo is, what's going on with them, what they're going to be doing, and what sets them apart from other conventions that are going on. If you want to find them online, check out expo.mediapolis.us, and also if you want to save a little bit of money, you can go and register before August 30th and you're going to save $50. Normally the cost is $150, but it's only $100. And I used bucks twice, but that's okay because that's how I roll. So sign up before August 30th, and it's only $100. If you sign up after August 30th, you're going to have to pay more. You're going to be able to find and meet some cool people like Michael Biehn, who was in Terminator, and he was in Aliens. You're going to find other, not necessarily big celebrities, but that's really what I'm digging about this, is it's not the normal convention that you've got. These are, if you have any interest of being an actor or a comedian or a writer or a producer or a director, if you're an artist, if you want to try to get your screenplays out there, this is the convention. This is the expo that you want to be at. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be talking about podcasting. I'm going to be talking about a few other things as well. But if you want to really take what you're doing to the next level, and you really want to kind of just learn more about how to get deeper into the entertainment industry and every aspect of it, you got to be out there for that. So you should be out there, buy your tickets, get ready for it. It's cool stuff. Lastly, my book recommendation. You know that I'm a Green Lantern fan, so this should go with you should know that this is going to be one of my books at some point in time. Green Lantern Blackest Night. It's written by Jeff Johns back in 2009, 2010, somewhere in that range. It's a great, great book that led up to Brightest Day. The whole story arc, Jeff Johns just did a really, really great job with it. So you might want to check it out. If you want to read something before Blackest Night, just to kind of get your feet wet and to kind of walk you into Blackest Night, check out Green Lantern number 25. It's got the Sinestro Corpse War, and it starts talking about the Black Lanterns. So check that out if you haven't already. Otherwise, I've taken up 5 minutes of this episode already talking to you about all these other things going on. So sit back, relax, and listen to Tony and I talk about pretty much everything that we do. So Later. Foolery in Carmel, Indiana.
We are here. We have arrived.
We have arrived.
We've made it.
I'm trying to remember the last time I came to Carmel, Indiana for a non-wedding event.
Yeah, well, you live essentially in an opposite town.
I live on the polar opposite of where we're at right now. And that's okay. I have to go by my brother-in-law's house on the way home. So
well, there you go.
I like these little, it's not really a mom and pop shop.
Right.
But it's not a downtown comics where they have multiple stores all over the place.
It's not like Walmart, the comics version. It's like this is a locally owned, independently operated store that has a surprisingly good selection. I mean, this is a big room, and on the left side here, there's all comics. There's a wall full of comics. And then behind us, which is even cooler to me because you and I are music guys, wall full of classic vinyl behind us as well. So this is not just the mom and pop comic shop. This is a mom and pop music store as well here. Tons of vinyl to go along with comics, and we got the pop vinyl figures, and we've got a bunch of other figures, and there's just a bunch of cool stuff in here, and that's the way it should be.
It feels like it's a collector store. Like it's not a gaming store. I'm looking up front, and Bob's behind the counter talking to some of his clientele. They do have Magic down there. It looks like they've got some sports cards down there. It looks like they've got some rare cards as well in individual cases. Right. But I like the fact that it's just a comic shop. I think there's a lot of comic shops that have given in, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel that staying true to, no, we're going to do comics, and we're going to do LPs. We're going to be a little retro in it, but we're going to stick with it. I like that. Well, I like that atmosphere.
And I have to give props to the name is cool. Like normally,
the Foolery?
The Foolery, like a comic book shop. You normally, you've got your downtown comics, your comic book universities, all very cool. But they need to put in. They probably felt the need to put in their name exactly what they're selling. The Foolery, a little bit of everything. Come in, mess around, have some fun. It's just.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
I wonder why he came up with the Foolery.
Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to Bob, and he'll
just yell at Bob right now.
And he'll tell us, right?
Bob, get over here!
Well, I'm a fool, so no. My guess is that it's something to do with that. Kind of having fun, goofing around, type of not taking himself too seriously is my guess anyway. So, but
Bob seems like a pretty good. Now you've been up here more than I have. You introduced me to the Foolery and to Bob.
I've been here multiple times. I'm a little more familiar with Carmel just because of my
massive
dealings
amount of
in
money
the area.
you have.
Right? Oh yes, all that. Many fine things I own. No, comic books are the most fine things I own, to be honest. But no, I'm up here. My daughter goes to school in the area, so it's easy for me to be kind of up here and have some free time to spend in here. So I've been in here multiple times. I bought the vast majority of comics that I bought recently have probably been from this store. Some trade paperbacks and things like that. So
now you said that he's got like a bin for like back, not necessarily back issues, but some older trades.
Yeah, just like any good comic book store, you've got the brand new releases, and then you've got some stuff that you're ready to move. So we've got some, some bins of half off comics and dollar comics, and there's a bin of trade paperbacks down there. $5 a trade paperback, and I was in here just last week, and I picked up the trade paperback of the collected works of the early Rocketeer stories, all the first Rocketeer stories put together, remastered, recolored, a really cool set. $5. I was like, that's mine. Give it to me.
Now, did they do that? They did that pre the movie, right?
Yes. Well, no, this set was fairly recent. This was done by Image or IDW. This couldn't have been more than a few years old. I just think it was a collection and a reprinting, but it was done in such a way. I've read a few classic Rocketeer stories here and there, but this is a cool way to have that collected, because the original stories did come out before the movie. I don't know if that's what you were asking me.
Yes.
Yes, okay, yeah. So the movie is based on the
Thanks
comics.
for not listening.
Yes. I didn't know. I thought you meant was that set produced before the movie? Like, how old was that trade paperback?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
That makes sense. But yes, the movie was based on the comic book. The comic book came out, I think the stories first started in the 70s, maybe? 70s or 80s, somewhere around there?
Sounds about right.
Because I think the movie was 92, 93, 94, somewhere in that zone.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that was still when I was living in Missouri. My mom helped me make a Rocketeer costume
nice
for Halloween, and we got to visit the local mall, and we took, I think it was a couple 2-liter soda bottles and spray painted them gold.
It's
and
fantastic.
It was actually a really cool costume. I should have brought it.
You should have wore it today.
I should have worn it today, which would have made no sense.
Well, and I'd be also be very impressed if it still fit. So,
what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that you've grown, blossomed into a young man, and you have hair in places that you didn't have hair before, and your voice is changed. I don't know where I'm going with this.
We did this costume last year. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Okay, fair. I didn't know you lived in Missouri last year. Who knew? So
I have multiple houses. I have a house in every state.
Wow. Then
every
I'm
state
surprised you don't live in Carmel then. So.
Anyway, back to Carmel.
Right, yes.
Just freaking rich people. That's all it is.
Carmel, am I right? Be careful. We are among
we are,
Carmel denizens. We need to be a little careful.
We're in the midst of the...
Fortunately, we are standing over by the vinyls, and everybody else is over by the comics, so we're not being paid much attention to just quite yet. So,
well, and we really haven't talked about it. The whole reason...
Yep.
Well, there's two parts of why the Foolery is having the celebration. One is their first anniversary. Is it a reopening anniversary?
I think this is the first anniversary of being open, period. I'm not sure. Again, we can ask Bob if he existed before then, but I know at least in this specific location here at 25 West Main Street, this is their 1-year anniversary.
So they're celebrating that.
Yep.
But they're also celebrating that today, the 4th day of May, would be considered May the 4th.
Yeah.
Which is, if you even remotely know anything about Star Wars, know that that's a huge, huge thing. Unless you're Molly Connor.
Right.
Which I noticed Molly mentioned something on Facebook earlier saying that it was not that clever of a quip. But I challenge you, Molly, probably somebody that's not listening to this episode because it's going to say May the 4th on there. Find another quip that you can relate to a pop culture reference like that people will get instantaneously.
It's true.
But May the 4th brings about the Star Wars, and Bob's doing some very cool Star Wars giveaway things, and I see Boba Fett over there. What else is he doing? He's giving away some...
We've got a couple. He's got a couple big giveaways to do tonight. The big one, the grand prize, is an almost complete set of the run of the classic Star Wars from the '80s, number 1 through 75.
That's what it is.
I believe he has almost 66 or something of them, and it's a huge bundle that's being given away, close to $500 worth that's being given away. The other one, the other big giveaway tonight is Star Wars, obviously enjoying its new renaissance here recently of a new movie coming out and everything like that. There's a lot of comic books that have come out recently, and we're giving away. They are giving away, rather, all the variant...
I'm not giving away
$500. Me neither. So they're giving away the variant covers of all of the new Star Wars comics. Specifically the variants that look like the 1980s prepackaged toys, the action figures. So they're giving away that set, and then I believe he has an action figure, a Han Solo action figure, mint on the card, signed by the artist who drew the artwork pertaining to... pertaining to the character there. So yeah, three big giveaways coming up here in about an hour or so. I mean, if we're live on the radio, I'd tell you to come on down, but by the time you're hearing this, it's happened already, so tough luck on you if you're not here.
If you're listening to this next week, May the 19th or whenever this is
May the 19th be with you.
May the 19th.
It's not going to work out like you'd hoped, so. You know who else isn't impressed by all the May the 4th be with you references? Is Mike Tyson, because he says that all the time he talks about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. What's the big deal about the big day? I don't get it, you guys. Seriously. May the 4th be with you.
Do you follow boxing at all? We've transitioned into Mike Tyson.
That's fine. It's a good segue.
Yeah.
Only what I see in the news. Obviously, I'm not like a hardcore boxing fan. I don't get it per se, but I understand that there was a big fight that happened recently. I know that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I know of boxing.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't. Well, because you're more the sports guy than I.
Sure.
And I really wanted to get some more information about why everybody's on the big hoopla about it being such a horrible fight.
Oh, well, because as I understand it, Floyd Mayweather, who is now 48-0, he has never lost as a professional.
Like me.
Which yes, right.
Yep.
Interesting sidebar. Last time he lost was when he was an amateur. Was back in 1995, the day before Macarena hit number 1 on the music chart. It was the last time that he lost a fight. So that is impressive, even if you're a non-boxing fan.
And the same day that The Rocketeer came out on VHS.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yes, VHS and Beta. Get it all on time. No, everybody's upset because this fight was first proposed about almost 6 years ago. And Manny Pacquiao was a much younger, more elite boxer back then. As he's aged, he's kind of lost a step. He's not quite as fast. And Floyd Mayweather's, I believe, his approach to boxing is to dance around people until they get tired, hit them with a few good punches, and then win at the end of the match by the judge's decision instead of knocking people out. So that's why people were not upset, or that's why people were upset with this fight.
Is that what happened?
Yes, 12 rounds, not many punches thrown. You know, they were excited to see a big fight where somebody got knocked out and got knocked to the ground. They paid thousands of dollars for these tickets, and it was $99 on pay-per-view, and it was really about 3 hours of the guys dancing around, throwing a few punches here and there, and then the judges deciding that one of them won at the end. So that's why people are upset.
They give it to who?
They gave it to Mayweather.
Because of his dancing ability.
Because he landed more big hits.
Oh, see, okay.
I know.
That's why I don't follow sports.
Sure, I understand.
But
this is a very different style of sport in that you can play for 3 hours. At the end, someone else decides your fate, as opposed to football or baseball where you play until a winner is determined through what you do on the field.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well,
this is like if you played chess for 3 hours and nobody won, and then a panel of people off to the side decided who did the better job.
When you moved your knight to rook 7,
I thought you were pretty good.
That was ridiculous. Yeah. All right, fair enough.
So that's that. So
the other thing that just got released, yesterday I think, was the Suicide Squad. They released like a full outfit promotional. Photograph. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah, I saw it online. I believe the director tweeted it out or put it out on its Instagram account, and everybody's kind of digging into it with all the various, because there's like 8 or 9 people in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, there was 3 surprises plus everybody that they knew about.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I've seen it. Again, being more of a Marvel guy versus over a DC guy, I'm not as excited about that as I have been for other properties that I'm familiar with. I've never read an issue of Suicide Squad. Yeah. I mean, I know that they are attached to Batman and Superman. They're kind of Batman's villain.
If you look at
gang.
IMDb, it appears that Batman's going to make an appearance. Superman's going to make an appearance.
So it's part of the bigger DC universe they're going for.
I think so. They're just trying to make the connection between the that movie trying to be a larger hit, standalone hit, I guess, with everything else. But I am not impressed. With Mr. Will Smith.
Oh yeah, who is Deadshot? Correct.
Yeah,
yes,
he is Deadshot. I saw the outfit.
Yep.
He feels out of place. I was reading a comment thread, and somebody said it feels like a CW show that's trying to be more. And
I can see that.
the only one that I could see that with was Deadshot. Everything else, like Captain Boomerang.
Yeah,
he actually. I mean, you can't. Okay, let's just face it. Some of the costumes in the DC universe are even Marvel universe. Are kind of extravagant.
Sure.
Very, very left field,
Absolutely.
way out there.
Absolutely.
Captain Boomerang, just as much as anybody else.
Yeah.
But they all looked grungily
plausible.
Legit. Yes, plausible.
Sure.
So, Deadshot, Will Smith, I know you're listening. I'm sorry, but I really hope that your acting skills, however little they may be, can help you out.
Ouch.
I know. I'm not a Will Smith fan.
Apparently not.
No. Will Smith to me, with the exception, not even with the, okay. Will Smith to me is very much like a Nicolas Cage or I hate to say it, but even like a Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
I love Keanu Reeves as a person.
Yeah.
I think he's been through tremendous crap through his life, but he still manages to move forward. Anyway, acting-wise, they all are them. There is no character acting in what they do. I can see that.
I mean, they're definitely, and I think they're in a bad spot that there is in this generation. There exists so many amazing character actors like a Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Or, people like that to just blow them away in terms of the different things they can do. But like you said, I get it. Will Smith's going to play a gentleman who's going to have an urban flavor to him and is going to say some funny things and is going to do some funny things and maybe have a few action sequences and probably call it a day.
Yep.
And that's going to be Will Smith's movie.
But unfortunately, there's only certain characters that perfectly fits in with.
You're right.
And the only one that jumps out at me, I take that back. The only two that really jump out at me would be Iron Man His name is escaping me right now. Help me out here.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Robert Downey Jr. Robert, there's so many comic book stuff around. My brain is...
Not that you didn't see a movie with him this past weekend.
I know. I almost said Howard the Duck because there's a poster over there.
That would be
Howard
awesome.
the Duck. You know
Seth
Iron
Green.
Man.
Seth Green. Go on.
Him...
Yeah.
Because he, as Robert Downey Jr., I think everybody already knew. Okay,
Oh, sure.
He's legit as Tony Stark. But aside from him, the only other one that I can think of is Nick Fury, which is
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know why I can't think of any names right now, but I can't. But those are the only two. I think that any other character that you play in a comic book movie, you have to be able to be a character actor rather than just a leading character, if you will.
I can understand that.
And that's what pulls me out of movies more than anything else is improperly casting just for the sake of being able to say, yep, we got this big name person to be in here, i.e. Will Smith. He's in here. He's doing whatever Will Smith does.
Sure.
No, he's
Well, it ties into what's coming out. There's another movie. It's a documentary that's coming out in about a month or so, I believe. A documentary about the short-lived attempt to make. I believe it was Tim Burton was making Superman Lives.
Oh yeah,
back in the late '90s, and Kevin Smith was writing it, and Nick Cage was going to be Superman.
Yeah,
and they got like within weeks of shooting, and then it got all shut down.
Did you ever hear Kevin talk about that?
No.
Oh,
I can only imagine he has a lot to say.
There's a DVD.
Yeah.
Well, and he talks about it quite frequently. But I've got a DVD. I'll let you borrow it.
Okay, cool.
There is a DVD, and it's an evening with Kevin Smith.
Sure.
And if you ever get the chance, anybody that's listening to this, if you ever get the chance to go just listen to Kevin Smith talk about his history, do it. Go. He travels with Wizard World sometimes, but he'll just book random occasions, and it's an open Q&A session. You go in, you ask him a question, and he will give you a 20-minute answer.
You're right. We actually got the chance, before you go back to your DVD, we got the chance to see him when he released Red State, his pseudo-horror movie. They showed it at Clues at Butler University, followed by Q&A with him. He was there for the showing, so we bought tickets. My brother-in-law, Tom, and I, who was on the show recently, bought tickets, got to go. So I asked him, I got to ask him a question, but nobody asked about Superman Lives. So I didn't get to hear anything about it. So. But I haven't seen an evening with Kevin Smith yet.
I will give you. I'll let you borrow that. And it's a solid 25 minutes of him just talking about how ludicrous because the director of Superman Lives, or was it the producer? No, it was the producer.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a connection. Between that producer and another movie.
Gotcha.
And he opens up. He's a great story. Well, he's not a great storyteller. He's a really good storyteller because he tangents like I do.
Sure.
And anyway, if you get the chance to watch that, friends and family, whoever else is listening to this, do so. You're not going to go wrong at all. So anyway, Suicide Squad. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping for the very best. And his shirt says Iron Moose.
Iron Moose. Huh?
Iron Moose
awesome.
is what is on his shirts. I love that.
Iron Moose.
Unfortunately,
you can make an iron anything, I guess.
Yeah,
so
I would definitely make an iron something.
I love it. Very cool.
Foolery is filling up. They weren't joking about 6 o'clock that it was going to fill
not
up.
At all.
There's like a solid 25 people, and this is a pretty standard size, open centered room where. You come in, you get what you need, and then that's it. Now I'm wondering how long they're going to stick around after the drawings.
Well, I mean, understandably so. The drawing is the main event, but while they're here, I mean, everybody's checking out the comics. I mean, they are also doing a half off on all the Star Wars comics today, so you can stock up on whatever you need in terms of back issues that's on the shelves here, which is very cool. So yeah,
nice. Well, I don't know if we should talk about it or not.
Uh-oh. Wait, do you want one more Will Smith tidbit before we move on? I just thought about this. I don't know why this popped into my head.
Yeah.
Well, this is semi-relevant because we're talking about Will Smith.
This episode will be called Foolery Smith.
That's fine. We were talking about Will Smith in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I just read what I felt was a fairly ludicrous news story, but it is legit. And talking about Will Smith jogged my memory because it's a Will Smith franchise that is coming back into the limelight.
Independence Day?
No.
Oh.
Although that is happening too.
Yeah.
Men in Black. Sony just announced they are officially moving forward with a Men in Black crossing over with the movie version of 21 Jump Street.
What?
Believe it or not. Believe it or not, they're going to do...
When did they announce that?
They like last week. I think they're going to say that Jonah Hill, and Channing Tatum's characters are going to become, because they're trying to figure out what they can do. They've gone to high school. They've gone to college. They're going to join the Men in Black University, or the Men in Black training program, and they're going to become Men in Black agents.
Why?
Because money. That's why. Because money.
Well, Men in Black got us a crap ton of money. And
because that's a way to bring Men in Black back and keep it semi-relevant. I'm no word if Tommy Lee Jones or Will Smith are going to be in or anything like that, but that's what they're going to do. And we're talking about Will Smith jogged my memory on that, and I was like, wow, because I tried to suppress it. Clearly, I tried to suppress it in my brain.
Yeah,
but now it's bubbled back to the surface.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, yeah.
And this is official. This is officially official.
This is official. This came out. It came out unofficially months ago when Sony got hacked and all those emails came out, and it was an email thread back and forth for some producers.
Yeah.
Should we do this? Do we think we should do this? Does this sound cool? And they have moved forward with it. They have inked the deal. I mean, it's far from, of course, being on screen, but they've said, yes, we're planning on putting this in our production schedule. This is what we're going to do. So there you have it.
I am extremely excited about not watching that in the theater. And if they make it, that kind of gives me hope for like other crossovers.
That would be amazing. I think we need more crossovers in the cinematic world. But Absolutely.
Not 21 Jump Street.
Bringing it all back to what we're doing today on May the 4th. I have long been a fan because a lot of times people who are Star Wars fans are very adamant that Star Wars is the best sci-fi, and they find themselves at odds with other sci-fi fans, particularly Star Trek fans.
Right.
Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans seem to be at odds, and I have long enjoyed both series. No ill will towards the other. I think they're both good stories in their own right. Would love to.
Star Trek's better.
Well, Star Trek is pretty cool. But
what a gray middle of the road answer. Yeah, they're pretty good too.
Yeah.
So the Beatles.
No, my point is that I would love to see them cross over. I don't know how they would do it, or I don't know how it would work.
Well,
but
they've done a Star Trek Star Wars crossover before, haven't they?
I think so, because the pure logistics, like one has shields and the other one has ion cannon. Like they can't figure out if one's in the future, if they're both in the past. They can't. I don't think they've ever. Someone could prove me wrong, and I would love to hear more about it. But I don't think they've ever officially crossed them over.
Somebody in this massive nerd hub has got to know if they've done a Star Wars, Star Trek cross.
We can ask Bob when he comes over.
Bob, yeah. Bob's just raking in the money. I keep glancing up there, and Bob's just like, hey, how's it going? Money? Thanks.
This is why you have the party, man.
That's exactly right.
You got to make the
cake.
Money.
You do cake. That will bring them in.
Cake equals people.
So, Avengers.
Yes.
Age of Ultron.
Yep.
Should we do spoilers?
I don't know. It depends if you want to put a tag on them. Well, the other thought is when I know we're probably recording a few different episodes tonight. The other thought is when we're going to put this one out. If we put this out this week, it may be a little close for some people. But if this one gets bumped down a little ways,
it'll be a couple weeks. It'll be a couple weeks.
I would think
we'd
be okay to put. We'll put a spoiler tag on the show ID and things like that.
Yeah, we'll do. I'm thinking we could dedicate a good chunk of a show.
Age of Spoiltron.
Just to Age of Spoilertron. Yes. Yeah, we'll just do a separate episode just for that.
Fine.
By itself.
That's fine.
I'm all right with that.
All right.
I'm all right with that.
So seek us out when you hear this episode and you're like, I love Age of Ultron. Yeah. I love to be spoiled.
I like for all
I live in Carmel. I want to be spoiled. Out of my
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm a little drained. This last weekend was a busy weekend for myself.
Yeah,
Did you have anything going on this past weekend?
Nothing wedding related. We were moving around a lot this weekend. Saturday was a big day. Amelia had my daughter had her third ever T-ball game in the morning, like 8 a.m. super early in the morning,
oh my gosh.
Ridiculously early. Friday we found out that the pipe leading from our well into the house has sprung a leak. So we spent some time. My father-in-law Tom was brilliant enough to come over and excavate for us, start the excavation process while I was at the T-ball game. He came over early and started digging without me, and he was so awesome at it. And I came when I could and helped him finish up. Found the leak, tried to repair it. We've got a temporary patch. We might have to call someone to help us finish the job. So that took up a good chunk of our Saturday. Emily, my wife, ran the mini marathon on Saturday morning.
How was that?
That was
I've never
good.
ran the mini. I've never ran the mini. I don't plan on running the mini. Has she ever done it before?
She'd never run a marathon before.
She's been training.
She gets up. Yeah, she gets up at 5 a.m. every morning and goes to the gym and runs on the treadmill like 4 or 5 miles and just does her fitness thing, which is awesome. And then she wanted to try it. So she did it with her mom and a couple of her friends, and she did great. She ran like it was like 33 minutes. I mean, she nailed it. She killed it, I think. So
33 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, she did pretty darn well. So
we have a few mutual friends that were set up all along the route.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how many people. I wonder, because that's a huge thing.
Oh, there was tons of people there.
Yeah.
A ton of people.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go. I couldn't go because of the T-ball thing, obviously. But there was a ton.
If you're not from Indianapolis, the mini marathon is probably the most popular marathon in Indianapolis all year long. And there are marathons all the freaking time.
Yeah.
There is always something going on every weekend, no matter where you go, if it's a zombie run or if it's a freaking
the color run. There's a superhero run now.
Yep.
The mud run. There's anything you put run after it, and people will do it because it's fitness and it's cool. So
I'm gonna do the walk run where I just get to walk.
Yeah. I'm going to do the Wii run where I get my Wii mote and stand in my living room and move it back and
just swing
forth.
back and forth.
My little guy's going to run, and it's going to be great.
I think it'll work out really, really well.
Yeah.
It should work out really, really, really well.
Can't wait.
Big plans for this upcoming. Like, what's your next big thing that's coming up in the world of family?
Well, this coming weekend, I will be heading to my hometown of Fort Wayne. My parents are moving. They like 5-6 years ago they bought a lake house about an hour north of Fort Wayne. Loved it, wanted to retire. I know, right? Moved right from Carmel. They never lived in Carmel. It's okay.
They're still here.
They loved it. That was going to be their retirement center. But then, I've got a kid down here in Indianapolis. They now have 4 grandchildren in Fort Wayne, so they're moving back into Fort Wayne. They want to be a little closer to family and be more accessible with that kind of stuff. Yes. No, they're moving an hour closer to us.
Oh, okay, good.
So, yeah, because they were an hour north of Fort Wayne. Now they're coming.
Michigan.
They're essentially They were a little closer to Michigan now. So Saturday I get to go up there, help them move, and do all that fun stuff. So that's the next big family thing. I don't know if that counts as family thing, but
no, it's legit. It's legit. I've had a lot of people ask through Facebook and through Twitter and whatnot, just kind of. We talk about a lot of geeky, nerdy related things, but it's. I think it's important to talk about kind of what's going on in our families just in general. So I'm really excited. I get to go to Wisconsin for the very first time ever. I've never been to Wisconsin.
I don't think I have either, but that's cool.
And we're going to some massive water park thing. Okay. And we're gonna go there. We're gonna fish for a while.
Nice.
I haven't fished for years.
That sounds great. Sounds very relaxing.
Yes, but I probably will not stop working.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, when you go with a couple of kids and you own your own business, there really is no total relaxation. So.
I've heard that when you take an official vacation, you have to go for a minimum of 2 weeks because it takes at least 4 days to get out of the whole progress. Because once you get out of it, and if you only take a week, then you get right back into it, and you got to get right back going.
I could see that.
I wish I could go for 2 weeks. We are not going for 2 weeks. So whoever knows where I live, don't steal all my stuff.
A man can dream, a 2-week vacation.
Well, very cool. Well, I think this is a good wrap point.
Totally.
This is a nice little episode, just to kind of chit-chat a little bit about.
A little ketchup.
Yeah, you never know what's going to.
Ketchup, little mustard.
What?
Up here in Carmel.
Really?
Sorry. Little ketchup, little Grey Poupon up here in Carmel. On that note.
It's true, because it's Carmel. So, and that's how it goes. All right. Well, on behalf of everybody, good luck. Have fun. Enjoy. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th and also with you. That's my Catholic upbringing. And also with you. You have to answer that to everything, otherwise you go straight to hell. So,
then you might want to say that again.
And also with you.
Very well. Thanks, Tony.